My child won't sleep without touching my ears. It's something that I've experienced from, I think, from possibly sort of 9 months old. And I just thought nothing of it, to be honest with you, because at that stage, autism never entered my mind. You know, he was still a baby, um, not even sort of weaning at that point, and he would just kind of touch my ear, and I thought, oh, it's so cute, he's touching my ear. And at this stage where he's nearly 5 years old, my son doesn't just touch my ear, he pulls my ear, he gets his nail and he digs it in just on the earlobe. And I love to wear earrings. You've probably noticed in my videos, I love earrings. But when my son is around, it's a case of he sits on me and he's basically saying, Mum, yeah, get rid of these, please, get rid of these. And again, I don't want him yanking my earrings out of my ears, so I just take them off. And he's there pulling my ears and pulling my ears. And it was only recently that I realised that he's stimming. You know, all this time I just thought it was something that he liked to do. It was just a bit of a comfort for him. And yes, I suppose stimming is about allowing your child to feel comfort. But it was only, I think, a week ago, because now what I'm doing is I'm going onto social media, I'm sort of engaging with other people's lives, sort of connecting with other SEND parents. And I just made this flyaway comment, and I said, oh, you know, I'm really tired today. My son woke up at, I don't even know, I think it was like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. And the reason why he woke up was because we co-sleep. So he turned over to pull my ear. And I didn't want him to pull my ear, because what's happening now is that it really hurts, because he pulls it and rubs it to a point where I'm getting friction burns, okay? So that night I was like, no, I'm sorry, you can't be pulling my ears, like, leave me alone, I just want to sleep. And because I had moved his hand away, he then started to get angry and frustrated, and then he started to cry, and then that's it, I'm awake. So I was kind of like just saying that was the reason why I'm tired and I'm looking not my best, etc. And the lady that was hosting the live, she said, oh my goodness, Karina, like, my son does exactly the same thing. And I was like, really? Oh my goodness. It was just so nice to have someone that had the same experience as me. And that's why, you know, it's really important as SEND parents that we talk. You know, we just talk to other parents that are in the same situation, because you know what, being in this situation can be so isolating. You think that you're the only one going through it, and I just want to say you are not the only one. Now, I give that sort of example because it was really nice reaching out to someone, and for me to be in a position where we could just go backwards and forwards about strategies, you know, how we can help each other, tips and tricks, just to help our children, obviously, first and foremost, but also how we can have some sort of comfort as well. Because as I was saying, you know, it really does hurt when they're sort of rubbing and sort of pressing their nails into it, because they just need that self-regulation. So what is stimming? I'm sure you've heard of it. I've obviously heard of it. Do we recognize it? So stimming stands for self-stimulatory behavior. Okay, so it's just a way that autistic people can regulate their emotions or their sort of sensory inputs. And it's not always about sort of the hand flapping, the jumping, things of that nature. It can present itself in different ways, just like my example with my poor earlobes, okay? But stimming can also be about expressing joy. So is it something that we should stop? Am I just being oversensitive? Should I continue to allow my son to pull at my ear. And this is not just something that happens at night. It is constant. It's just, I don't know, he has this attachment, and I have addressed attachment on this channel before, but it's constant. It's just, you know, I may sit on the sofa and he'll jump on the lap, and I have no issue with that. But it's straight away this, it's straight away that. And, you know, if I sort of remove his hand, it's the screaming, it's the meltdown. So for me, I don't necessarily want to stop it. In fact, no, I don't want to stop it whatsoever. If it's something that he needs to regulate himself, I actually think that should be encouraged. But should it be to the detriment of my poor ear? Then maybe not. So myself and the other mother that we're talking on live a couple of weeks ago, we were sort of saying, well, okay, maybe we can look at alternatives, maybe providing them with a distraction, maybe another toy. Now, I've tried another toy. He is just not interested in that. You know, he just flings it to the floor to tell me, Mum, are you having a laugh? My sister suggested, sort of like tongue in cheek, that I get a mold made of my ear. And I was like, well, you're not really helping me, sis, you know. But actually, that could be another solution, because it can't come to a point where he's actually damaging my ear. And again, I don't want him to stop the stimming. So I am going to look into other ways where he can get that comfort. He can still self-regulate, again, not to the detriment of my sort of physical health. I'd love to hear examples of how your child stims and how you deal with it. Have you got any tips for me? Some ways that can help my ear and my son still continue to stim? Now, you know, stimming is one thing, okay? But what happens when your child bites? And my child bites, and he has a chew toy. With all due respect, I'm not even sure if that helps, because I think he just wants that sensation, that feeling of human flesh. So in the next video, please come and join me. I'll share how biting has affected me physically, emotionally, and, you know, what every parent needs to know about how to handle it. So click on the video that you see on the screen now, and I'll join you there.